This spring I acquired two new-to-me plants, Yacon and Oca. I'm not sure if I'm saying them correctly, Y-A-C-O-N and O-C-A. From what I understand of it, Yacon and Oca are both plants that are from the Andean regions of South America. They're perennial in places that don't freeze, so they are not perennial here. And I thought it'd be fun to trial them this year now that we've had our first frost. The Yacon, which is this friend here, it's a member of the sunflower family, not wholly unlike Jerusalem artichoke, but not nearly as hardy. It's next to a chokecherry that showed up here last year. I'm going to dig this out as well. And the Oca, let me come around, bear with me, past the American persimmons and day-neutral pineapple-flavored strawberries, past the baby Dunbar's plum and seedling gummies, and next to the celeriac is the Oca down here, which has been melted a bit. Really beautiful plants, both of them. So what I thought I would do, I haven't dug these up at all yet, is I was going to pause here and dig these plants out of the ground. Now that I have a root cellar, it seems reasonable to potentially grow these, harvest them in the fall and store them over winter. And I'm excited to share with you what's under there. I don't know if it's going to be nothing from voles or what have you, but I'll try to dig out the Yacon and Oca and we'll take a look together. Thanks. I definitely have to say, one of the things that is so compelling about running a nursery and just doing this work in general is being able to meet new plants and learn about what they're up to. Pretty interesting harvest. This here is the Yacon, which I want to share some thoughts on in a moment, but I'll start with the Oca, which are this little pile of babies. Not super yieldy, but in fairness, yes, we have really rich soil at this site, but it's so wet, and maybe that's not what this plant wants. If they're from the mountain regions of Andean descent, then they might prefer leaner, drier soils. So what I normally do is I plant new things in multiple places. So this Oca was planted right here in this garden, was planted at the main Edible Acres site, and was also planted in one of our high tunnels over here. And the one that's in this high tunnel, it's an understory ground cover to a passion flower. We're going to leave that and see if it overwinters and comes back. Maybe the voles eat it, maybe not, but that'll be a neat trial to see. Maybe these are crops to grow as perennial, full perennials in high tunnels. So Oca, a little underwhelming. I'm excited to try to eat these. We'll share notes with how those taste. But Yacon, oh my goodness, one plant knocked out a big old pile of tubers. Beautiful, dense tubers that do not look like any other root crops that I grow here, that we grow here. Very, very dense, very fibrous looking. And what I feel like I'm seeing here is that these are for us to wash and store and eat through the winter. And these, so rather than planting these next spring, there are a lot of plants that I grow, like skirret, anise hyssop, and others, that have the same morphology where they have storage organs that they store deep below, and then what I call pups, which are these little sprouts on the side. And I suspect if I store these in potting mix in our root cellar, this is our future plant. So I feel like we can eat a lot of tubers from this one plant, and one of these that I grew out in this spot now has made 1, 2, 3, 4, a whole bunch more, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of these will be what I store in the root cellar to plant out, and we get a good couple of pounds of tubers to experiment with. I'm really excited to hand these off to Sasha. She is the genius in the kitchen, and she'll be exploring what it means to grow or to cook with and enjoy ancient perennial Andean tubers in our Zone 5B north-facing slope in central New York. Always worthwhile experimenting with new plants. So we'll come back to Yacon and Oca in the spring, see how they overwinter in the root cellar. We'll share notes how they taste, and maybe next fall I'll be offering them through the nursery. It'd be really fun to get other folks to try them too. So that's it for now in our really complex, very rich, perennial and annual mixed context home garden. many hundreds of different species here, at least 100 plus, still kicking it into early November, providing us food and medicine and resilience overall. These complex systems, a little hard to get into and understand, but my goodness, what resiliency and richness, and what a lot of fun. So, Yacon and Oca, maybe it's something to explore. We'll share more notes, but that Yacon, man, I'm excited. All washed up and ready for the fridge. And this is what we'll be eating. The rest is put into a pot and will go in the root cellar, probably about 20 future plants from one plant. I ate one raw and it was exquisite. Sweet, crunchy, and watery. That's the Yacon. And the Oca, absolutely beautiful. Kind of spicy and sour, also sweet. Really excited to see what these are going to be like for culinary purposes.